Buongiorno. Welcome back to the Italian campaign. It is 1960, and okay, we are very close to a war with Germany. It's probably going to break out next month. So let's see, where are my ships? Here are the Regina Isabella class. That's good. So they are ready. I'm wondering if it would be a okay, the Americans are sending actually not just this one battleship, but 3 battleships. I think that's another job for the Dio Scotties to deal with. Not the 2, whatever this class is, Sanita class. I think I'm gonna send these over here somewhere so they can when the war breaks out with Germany, they can operate from this port and generate some, I don't know, convoy missions or something. Alright, let's go to next month and see what happens. Hopefully we're gonna get some battles with the Japanese and the British in the Indian Ocean. Alright, oil discovery in Sudan, which is mine. War continues with the United States. War breaks out with Germany. Some admirals getting replaced. Here we go. Shokaku class battleship. 17.2 inch guns. 16.2 knots. It's the 1957 refit. They all seem to be... this is original. It's got a little bit more reasonable speed. 16.2 knots. Oh, I'm guessing it has... it might have a lot of armor. It's not that big. It's only quote-unquote 60,000 tons. Yakushi class heavy cruiser, which is more expensive than their battleships. 10.4 inch guns. That's a respectable main armament. These seem to be not bad. Not bad at all, unless they have like no armor. And on our side, you got Madonna della Salute, Vendetta, Eridano, Littorio, and Dino, accompanied by cruisers and DDs. So let's go. Alright, that's a lot of cruisers. But we have the edge in number of DDs. And if these are all tethered to these battleships, which seem to be modernized dreadnought types of battleships, then maybe we can get some good torpedo volleys off at the start. Let's have things somewhat organized here. Just gonna join the battleships together and hope that they behave. Let's see, heavy cruisers. Turn this way to begin with. And my DDs. Here we got one squadron of 4. What's the range to the enemy? 40 kilometers. Let's take a look at these battleships. Okay. I didn't know the Japanese had these kinds of old dreadnought type hulls available still this late in the campaign, but obviously they do. That's a lot of different guns. I was expecting some kind of super Yamato type battleships, but maybe it's just as well that that's not what we're up against. All right. Actually, I want these two not part of that division after all, because they would just have to do a lot of zigzagging to get in behind the other ones. Wait, did I? No, 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 no. I didn't mean to split them all up. I'm gonna try and fix this. There we go. And again, hoping that sometime in the future this game will let me deploy my ships at the start of the battle, so I will not have to deal with this. Okay. Let's pick out some targets here. Vendetta. Madonna. Dino. Vittorio. Eridano. One each. Are my heavy cruisers in range of anything? Not quite yet. So we already hit something very hard here. That's one of their heavy cruisers. Now that looks kind of funky. I am liking this. Yeah, the front turret layout could be better thought out, but overall it's not too horrible. Do they have torpedoes? They probably do. They do. And their torpedo range is 16 kilometers. I was hoping they would all be screening the very slow battleships. Like in one big blob. These are already taking fire. Okay, these are the cruisers I'm firing at with my battleships. Not actually the DDs. I want to have these four all aim their torpedoes at that battleship, because most of the enemy ships will be clustered around that, so I think that will be a good aiming point. They can just launch whenever they are in range. these two. Bye. Come on. Solferino needs to detach. She's already launched. These guys are also launched towards that battleship. Animalso has not launched yet. It's taking some fire to the DDs. It's good. I think most of them will get away undamaged. Solferino might not survive. And these guys are doing things. There we go. Torpedo impacts. Torpedo's looking good. Up to 11 torpedo hits now. But I think we're gonna get more. Well, some of them will be on that already sinking battleship. Yeah, that's a very effective torpedo volley. 25 torpedo hits. I think these are gonna avoid, yeah. That was very good. Solferino. Engines out. Let's see here. Animalso. I think you're also done. You did not get to launch your torpedoes. Okay. You two can join in with those two. So I have another squadron of 4 DDs can be sent into action once their torpedoes are reloaded. No identifications yet on battleships or heavy cruisers. But so far we are doing very well. Okay, I wanna change some targets again. Make sure that my biggest guns are still targeting those battleships. That would be Madonna, Vendetta, Dino, Actually, Eridano here. And Madonna can target the furthest one. Now, Littorio, with her 15-inch guns, she can start taking out some of those heavy cruisers. Like that guy. My own cruisers. Let's see, are these in range yet? Not quite. What kind of main gun range do they have on those 10-inch guns? 32.9 kilometers. That's not bad. I think Solferino will not be able to get out. Nope. One DD lost. She can just sail for home, and if she gets a chance to launch some torpedoes at those cruisers, she's free to do so. Let's see, can we get Madonna on the thumbnail? There we go. Was able to catch the muzzle flash. No longer really the biggest ship in my navy, but definitely the biggest one in this battle. And I'm also getting targeted by those cruisers that she was supposed to launch torpedoes at. Let's turn a little bit to the south. That's another battleship about to sink. There she goes. And whenever one of them sink, one of my battleships will get to find another target. And they can just do that on their own. Speed you guys up a little bit. Max cruising speed 22.6 knots. What kind of engines do you have in that? Turbo electric. Okay. So they've not been given the gas turbines. That's fine. Turbo electric is still a very good engine choice. All the enemy battleships are being targeted. How about we load some AP, guys? At this kind of range, we should be able to get some deck penetrations. I don't know what kind of armor these have yet. I just noticed I was firing HE here we go. Just identified her before she slipped beneath the waves. Very dramatic like. It's like some armor, but main deck could be thicker. Diesel 2, that's why you're kind of expensive. Ten-inch guns seem to be quite good. You've got Capitalistic 1, heavy shells, nose fuse HE. Not bad. Other than the main deck armor. Modern 1 armor, single bottom, anti-torp 4. Triple base and TNT 2. Okay. Let's keep the shells raining down. We're getting overpen on the battleship. And the first battleship has been identified, Chigusa. No main deck armor. Okay, so HE is the right choice. No superstructure armor, no forebelt, no aft belt. Not very good main belt. Gear turbines. Mark 5 17s. Are you running low on ammo? Reduced. Reduced ammo, okay. Okay, we're going back to HE. Because that's definitely the choice when they have no... What happened to your main guns, Vendetta? Took some 17-inch hits. Did your A and B turret blow up? Where did those barbette destroyed? Okay. If she is to get a refit, I would give her more barbette armor. Well, she still has 5 16-inch guns left. So it's not like she's out of the fight. Bring the DDs back for another torpedo attack. Let's focus down these 2 battleships first, and then the last 2. What kind of turret armor did you even have? Lots of turret armor. One of these battleships, there we go, that's the original design. It was a much better ship. Well, slightly better. This one had gas turbines. Why so slow though? And my cruisers are now in range. See, DDs are coming back. I did again kind of forget about them and ended up having them just sail away. Size out of main gun ammo. That means we can kind of just ignore her for now. They've got lots of 8.2-inch casemates. 8.4-inch casemates, sorry. 8.2 is some kind of secondary turret. One of the Japanese DDs identified 42.7 knots. That's even faster than mine. Gas turbines. Let's see if we can take these guys out before they start causing problems. Light cruiser has very little armor, but it does have tons of torpedoes. There you go, flash fire on a cruiser. Yeah, torpedoes certainly did a lot at the beginning of the battle. And the key is, well, not being too hot. But she still has ammo and some pretty scary guns, so not really gonna count her out. DDs are back. Ready for another go. Let's smoke up. Ooh, no. Freccia. think that took you out of action. Pretty much. What kind of torpedo range do you have? 21.9. Can I just have you launched now before I pull you out? So your torpedoes don't go to waste. You have launched. You have launched. Francesco Nullo. You're not in range of that guy yet. What if I just detach you? And have you retreat out this direction. Bring you in range of that battleship. The Yoshun. Okay. Let's see if we can get some more torpedo hits out of that. Key goes down. Francesco Nullo has launched her torpedoes. Can now retreat. So far only lost one DD, which is pretty good, and there we are getting more torpedo hits. That was a well-aimed volley. Just didn't score that many hits. There we go. One more. Can we get something out of this? What do you know? She got lucky. Vendetta is running out of HE. But she also has some of her magazines blow up, so... There we go. 2 torpedo hits on Yoshun. Well done. Well done, Francesco Nullo. "29 torpedo hits so far, and that's probably gonna be it, because I do not have any torpedoes left. Madonna, you can finish off the Yoshun. Vendetta. Dino. Dino does not have range to those 2 battleships. She can start taking out some cruisers. DD is about to enter secondary range, at least for my ships with 6-inch secondaries. But we are also entering its torpedo range, which is not great. Please kill. There we go. When we get the first couple of hits in, that's going to slow her down. Make it an easier kill. And she's gone. Light cruiser is next. Neither of them are able to launch any torpedoes. That was light cruiser. These two heavy cruisers are looking rather angry. Let's have them cool down a bit. That dying DD is on some kind of underwater kamikaze attack. It was just coming straight for me. Kaku has no ammo. Because her E turret has exploded. That's good to know. And Dino, you can switch to Yoshun. Vendetta, you can switch to Yoshun. Donna already targeting the ocean. You can speed up just a little bit now. Let's send out these heavy cruisers to do some something more exciting than just following the battleships. Animoso is way out here. I think they had some heavy cruisers that went off over here somewhere. My RDF is not giving me a ping. Cruisers are now engaging the battleship. penning its non-existent main deck. There she goes. Let's get the Shoikaku too. Yeah, the way the armor in this game works, sometimes 0 armor is actually the best armor. Because we're just pretending that there is nothing between the main deck and the hull bottom. And as soon as the shells pass through the main deck without arming, they just teleport out the bottom of the ship. Poor girl getting wrecked. We're gonna make this surrender. It's very possible. With all those secondary guns, there are a lot of crew. Yeah, even with spacious quarters, there's a lot of crew that are just very easy to kill. Kisokoma, also a bit light in the main deck department. There we go, we're getting pings from out front here. That could be just the game giving me a ping from something that's already dead, because that does happen. I mean, I could just look around the map to see for the actual radar pings, but it sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, all her engines are out, flooding. But all in all, for an AI ship design, this heavy cruiser is not really bad. If it had just a little bit more armor, it would actually be very, very good. Well, now we're out of HE, so the lack of armor is kind of playing into its favor. There she goes. Enemy smoke spotted northeast. Are we gonna go looking? Yeah, we're getting a couple of pings. Like, how far out are these? Oh, I saw something here. I think it's just a couple of cruisers running away, so I'm just gonna end it. What survived? 3 heavy cruisers, one of them actually being damaged. So yeah, that's not a bad start to the war with Japan. We're winning, but we're gonna keep fighting. And here we go, the British have shown up. And they did not bring any battleships. Just cruisers. Antrim class. 2 10-inch guns. And a not that impressive top speed. And the ISIS class light cruisers with 3 6.2-inch guns and a very, very hefty price tag. I noted these last episode that they were very expensive and with like nothing to show for it. And as it happened, they just kind of exploded before I got to identify them, so maybe they're gonna live a little bit longer this time. Let's go. Alright. I don't think this is gonna be too much of a challenge. I'm just gonna keep all the battlecruisers in one division, even though Il Tempo is much faster. These four can also simply follow the battlecruisers. Let's see, they're going at 28 knots. Like so. I mean, hitting cruisers with torpedoes is not that easy. Just because they are quite maneuverable. Okay, let's go at 30 knots then. But when there are this many, I should be able to hit something. Also, I want to split my fire so I have the chance of hitting multiple ships. Victoria, Il Tempo, San Ferdinando. Heavy cruisers not yet in range. Yeah, they do have their ammo back since that convoy mission last episode. So that's good. I think it was a good idea when I turned their main guns off for the convoy attack itself. To conserve ammo. They're almost in torpedo range. We're taking some fire. Let's start selecting targets now. Okay, from back to front. Sure. Actually, no. Like so. Aggro. And let's go. They can launch whenever they are ready. Beautiful. Now they can get out. Don't think they're gonna have time to come back and reload and do that again. My my heavier ships will probably have a pretty easy time reducing this to scrap. But so far the torpedo fan is looking very very on point. You may now place your bets in the comments below. How many torpedo hits are we we're gonna be rewarded with. That was 15 torpedoes per DD. 15 times 4, that's 60 torpedoes. 3 hits so far. 4. Ouch. 8. 10. $19. 19, not bad. Antonio Casino being a little bit damaged, but she'll live, I think. Okay, here's a juicy main gun target. Victoria, Il Tempo, San Fernando. Delfino, not quite in range yet. Trento, Serena. Their call. Good. Are they entering my 6-inch range? Not quite yet. This should result in some very satisfying damage, yeah. And the DDs can just hang around now in the back. I'm gonna try and not forget about them in case I want another wall of torpedoes. The enemy just keeps coming straight at me. It is fair enough. There's not that much else they can do. Let's see when we get them identified. What kind of torpedo ranges we're looking at. Because that's probably their best bet for doing any serious damage to my battlecruisers. This is pretty much a turkey shoot. They are surprisingly survivable, though. I know I faced one of those heavy cruisers in the last episode, but I've already forgotten what kind of armor layout it had. Here we go. Identified. Oh. It's got a 0 armor layout. This one has a little bit more, but it's still close to 0. What are you? Do you not have a main tower? I don't think you have a main tower. I don't think that's legal. And that's a refit. with no main tower. Okay. Let's take a look at that refit again that was identified. Yeah, 2 single 10.4 inch guns, 2 double 8.3 inch guns, and a double 6.1 inch gun. 13-kilometer torps. 16-kilometer torps. Oh, and you're also the same, with no main tower. Fair enough. And here we go. Starting to really rack up the damage. I'm getting some kills. I think if I went closer and started gunning them down with secondary guns, I think that would be incredibly effective. At least for the ones with 0 armor. What are you guys doing now? I thought we had this fixed several patches ago. Because it was fixed. Argyle is close to sinking. Orlando. Bedford not that far off. Galatea. Let's see, have we identified any of their light cruisers yet? These are heavies. I think Antonio Gassino is just gonna detach, but I want these 3 DDs to come back. Okay, Vittoria. You can take out the Undaunted. Boom. That was a 16-inch hit from Il Tempo. Main belt pen. 50,000 damage. Not all of you. It's so finicky. I think you've selected only one from the group. these two are going to speed up and get closer and go in for the kill. Main deck over pen. I'm still not sure if I think that should even be possible. You get overpens on extended belts and superstructure. It was the thing. That was the whole concept behind the all or nothing armor scheme. The whole concept of a main belt and a main deck is that you have a lot of stuff inside of the ship that you do not want to have shells pass through. Are my DDs back yet? Almost. Are we just gonna go in for the kill with the 5-inch guns? It is tempting, but also these DDs are quite expensive. Still cheaper than the enemy light cruisers though, by quite a lot. If I can just find the enemy light cruisers, the 3 billion price tag. We're not in torpedo range, are we? We are. It was okay. They died before they got any torpedoes off. All right, Vittoria, Il Tempo, San Ferdinando. These are the ones with no main tower. And that also means... No, that one has a radar. A main tower, I mean. This one. Yeah, no rangefinder, no radar. So actually, if we can kill the one that had radar and rangefinder, maybe the DDs can just gun down the other one, because it would have a very hard time hitting my DDs in return. Let's go AP and see if we can go through the main belt. She angled. But she's still dead. Okay. Am I getting a radar ping somewhere? I am. That way. Those must be the light cruisers. So, just gonna send the DDs to hunt those. Someone got some torpedoes in the water. think I can easily avoid. And I don't think they're going to threaten my my main line. Probably going to run out of steam before they get that far. You too, just kill the crescent. That should be enough. Yeah, it was. And now the St. George, I guess. Have you guys found anything yet? Must be the light cruisers they're chasing. Because I have not seen them. It's a main battle pen for 8,000 from one of the 11-inch guns on my cruisers, which are now, of course, out of HE. Carnarvon is sailing broadside on those, so we can go for main belt pens with AP. That's fine. And the battle cruisers are also out of HE. Let's bring these four in closer also. What just hit you, Gorizia? 8-inch gun, aft belt pen. We're not allowed to do that to me. Yes. Enemy spotted. The hunt is on. Gorizia being punished here. Thought these would be a lot easier to kill, to be honest. And Drake is almost dead. Abuki is dead. Carnarvon next for you two. Drake is dead. St. George. Okay, those two. I think my ships are capable of killing those two by themselves. There we go. The light cruisers, as I predicted. The $3.1 billion light cruiser with no armor. And barely any guns. What do they have? Diesel 2. .32 knots. So, I am faster. I'm capable of catching up. APU range 14.6, 16.5. So I'm going to be in range of their guns before they're in range of mine. How far away are you from Il Tempo? 161 kilometer. Okay. We are not catching up with that one. Although in time, Actually could catch up, being quite a bit faster. I am tempted to giving all these very expensive DDs a refit where I give them 5.9 inch guns. Just to make the guns a little bit more punchy. The idea being that if I'm gonna have DDs that are the cost of a decent light cruiser, at least they should have the firepower to match. I'm gonna pause it here while I catch up. And the enemy is turning into fight. Perfect. Are we gonna pick out some torpedo targets? I think we are. Coventry, Dartmouth, Belfast. Actually, I'm gonna not aim at the first one. Thinking that if they do any maneuvers, the lead for the back three is probably gonna be more accurate. Our torpedo range is 15 kilometers. So I do outrange you there with my torps. Now we're just gonna try and keep a parallel course. My torpedoes are in the water. And just keep sailing straight and hope the enemy does the same. Yeah, 52.3 knots. I think the Occident torpedoes in dip are actually faster than the fast torpedoes. Because I've seen the enemy with fast torpedoes and they are slower. You know, these are only 40 knots. Basically, there's no reason to pick anything other than Occident torpedoes. We're gonna be greeted with some more hits. They have detected my torps. They're trying to do some kind of evasive maneuvers. There we go. 2 torpedo hits on Calcutta. Ooh, Dartmouth. Barely evading. I think those 2 on Calcutta were all we could get out of that. Coventry, my first target. Go with AP so you have the range. Grazie. And the enemy hit and destroyed a torpedo, but I do not have any torpedoes left. I don't see how that's possible. Okay. Corazziere is damaged. Yeah, it's even for my DDs, it's hard to win a gunfight with light cruisers. Even ones with not a lot of main guns. Can we get Corazziera out of here? Yeah, her rudder is fixed. The enemy got some torpedoes out too, but I don't think they're gonna hit anything. Can we get the Calcutta, which is already damaged and isolated from the rest of the squadron? I think that's our best bet if we want to kill one of these cruisers. Just go for the one that's isolated and wounded. True Predator style. Let's do a couple of volleys with AP and see if we can get some more flooding. Maybe not at this angle. No, I think HE is more effective. Yeah, Corazziera is getting out. That is good. And poor Calcutta is not receiving any protection from her herd. I think she's gonna surrender. I keep this up just a little bit longer. %39 losses. Lampo is taking hits. Yeah, those 6.2-inch guns are quite accurate. And also fast firing. 7.1 seconds. I think Calcutta is gonna make it. Okay, Lampo. I guess you're also gonna detach and go away. While Giuseppe can try and inflict a couple more losses on Calcutta. Maybe trying to hunt down these light cruisers was not such a great idea. I'm no longer sure if I can get my DDs out of this alive. Probably the Giuseppe, which is still undamaged. Well, basically. As long as she can maintain 40 knots, she can run away. Almost 42% loss. Crew. $43. Giuseppe is starting to take hits, including flooding. Okay. I don't think Giuseppe is gonna survive this, but at least I want to kill the Calcutta first. $44.1. Just need a couple more crews killed, and Calcutta is gonna surrender. $44.8. So close now. 44.9. Come on, a couple more crew kills. Literally 45. There she goes. Surrendered. End battle. Okay. Thanks to the magic of the end battle button, all my DDs survived. And they were able to take down a very expensive light cruiser. And also 18 heavy cruisers, but yeah. That's pretty good. Let's see, damage received. Yeah, that was mostly my DDs taking damage. All right. And also, we have this one to look forward to next episode, 3 Virginia-class battleships. Now, if I remember correctly, these also did not have a lot of armor, but they sure do have some firepower with 8 20.4-inch main guns each. That's 24 20-inch guns aimed at my my beautiful ships. Hopefully the DDs can do some clutch torpedo magic again. Or I can just gun them down with 16-inch guns, but these might be very low on ammo since the last episode. I think I ran them out of HE at least, and if these do indeed have 0 inches of main deck armor, excuse me, then I'm gonna need that HE. But we'll see next time. Goodbye, and take care.